Welcome to the Delmarva Almanac. Each week we connect you to the best of Delmarva. Like other almanacs, our aim is to tell you a little bit about our past, our present, and events in the near future. I'm your host, Dana Kester McCabe. This week we'll meet painter Mark Reeve, who's doing a series of Century Farm portraits in Delaware. Mark Reeve is a realist painter whose goal is to connect with his audience beyond simply adding beauty to their lives.
Well, painting for me has always been a remarkable communication device. The arts in general, painting, music, I've used them in years when I wasn't all that much communicative in my younger years. So artwork became my way to express ideas, to be able to interact with people, to socialize, etc. As it's developed, it's become a communication for social reasons. One of my objectives in years now is really connecting my art with economic and social concerns of the community to make it more viable, more relevant. And I think it's, in general, what artists need to be looking at is how can they connect people with people where they are, with their art, and not just make art for art's sake. It can still be art, and still be personal, and still be very much involving on the emotional level, but if you don't connect with people's objectives and initiatives and what's important to them, then art still becomes that marginal kind of ornament to life.
After art school, Mark found himself working in other fields, thinking he would not be able to make a living as an artist. His day job is working for a nonprofit that helps people with disabilities find jobs. He likes this work, but regrets not focusing sooner on his art. Mark is making up for lost time with projects like the series he's working on now.
Now, the Delaware Century Farm Portraits project really grew out of my desire to connect with the economic and community values of Delaware. I've been a landscape painter in Delaware for more than 18 years, and of course, a lot of that being agricultural properties. I know how much of a part of the identity and the cultural mix of Delaware that agriculture is, and I thought that was a perfect melding of my art and the community initiatives and interests. So I brought the project to Secretary of Agriculture Edwin Key in the winter of 2013, and I wasn't sure what the reception would be, but he was keyed in right away, pardon the pun. He understood right away that art was an important way to communicate the value of agriculture as something that hadn't been done in Delaware to that degree for a while, so he was very interested in seeing it happen. So we took it from there. They actually looked through the entire roster of Century Farms in Delaware, there's about 130 or so, and picked the ones that were the oldest ones that were still in family operations, still preserved as agricultural properties. And we had about 17 to begin with for our big list, and we got down to about 8 or 9 that had signed on and said, yes, we're interested in doing it. And we're supplementing some of that with a newer farm in the Kent County area that's still within the same realm. And also looking into working with DSU to highlight the Hickory Hill Farm, which is actually an instructional farm for the university to help their students become more interested in agriculture and find ways of becoming part of that industry. So that's resulting in an exhibit that will be on display at the Delaware Agricultural Museum and Village from May 1st until June 30th. It's a special reception on the 14th of May to kind of highlight the programs that the Department of Agriculture has to help the next generation of farmers, most particularly the Young Farmers Program is a loan program, and also to have our sponsors an opportunity to be able to talk about what they're doing to be able to promote better agriculture in Delaware. There will be 10 paintings all together that will be on exhibit for those 2 months, and then they become the property of the Department of Agriculture. There's some talk about where it's going to be housed in the long run, but basically they'll hopefully be kept together as a unit so they can be used as a communication device to help people understand agriculture and what it means in Delaware.
B. Whitehead is shown in her painting as a stately woman with short gray hair in a blue cardigan sweater. She stands before the tree-lined dirt lane leading to her farm on a sunny day. She smiles confidently at the painting's audience.
But Bea herself is such an interesting individual. She's a fantastic artist. She makes baskets by hand, which is a wonderful historical art and craft that she does wonderfully. And it just was fun to do that portrait. That was the first one I started with, actually. So that's kind of set the pace for the rest of them, in that I could connect with Bea very strongly emotionally, and it helped me get more interested in the rest of them. My style, it's realist without being photorealist. I still look to be painterly in what I do. I still look for abstraction in some way, looking for the big shapes that are going to be drivers compositionally. It's very important to me. And that's been certainly a challenge with the Century Farm Portraits series, is that you're really finding that element that will take it away from being just a picture of a farm with a couple of people in front of it and make it into a work of art. That's a big challenge. Milford certainly is a wonderful community in which to be part, just because they focus so much on making this a really vibrant and viable community. Mississippi Art League being one of the linchpin destinations to help that come along. I think the word I'd like to leave with is how important organizations like the Art League, Mississippi Art League, are to communities. Just giving a destination focal point, giving artists a vehicle to communicate their work, giving children educational opportunities. This has just been such a huge asset to Milford's community for so long, and helped to draw more artistic venues to the area. So I think my word is support those organizations.
Visit our website, delmarvaalmanac.com/arts, to get links to information about Mark's Century Farm exhibit. We'd like to thank our community partners, the Friends of Delmarva Public Radio, and underwriters EatDrinkBuyArt.com, for their help in bringing this program to you, our audience. Our theme music was provided by Brightside Studio. This show has been a Moonshell production. Thanks for listening. Until we meet again, may the rhythms and tides of Delmarva bring you good fortune.